Hi, this is and today I'm just going to make a pot with flowers. I've got my rotring tiki. I've already drawn out what I think I want to use there. I'm just going to make a pot here, and then I want to wash my board with a crimson, and then I will see what I do from there. So you can just take out your carmine or your crimson, dilute it with a little bit of water. You can even spray a little bit of water onto this if you like. I love to put the wash at the back because then it's very forgiving if you maybe skip an area with, if you start to paint and you maybe skip an area with your white or something. I just remember to wait when your pen is dry if you don't want it to bleed, but that's not a big problem. So so that's all I'm going to do, and I'm just going to quickly let this dry, and then we'll start to paint on top of this. Okay, this is dry now. Oops, I've taken off my thing. I'm just going to paint my pot yellow with a little bit of white because this color is a little bit transparent, and I want to try and use the white that it doesn't show through and make it a little bit more opaque. My light is coming from the left hand side. And I'm just slightly making it darker on the shadow side. I'm going to cover my background with my blue. I'm going to put a little bit of my white into my blue. And I'm just going to make a flat background. I'm not going to worry too much at this stage. If you struggle against the area where it's wet or where you want to not go into that area, it's better if you take your paint onto your brush on that side and go into the, next up to the area where it's already wet, and then you can make yourself a nice edge there. I'm not going to worry too much about this. I'm just going to quickly cover this. I'm not sure even what I'm going to do at the moment. So I'm going to make some areas a little bit darker. I've got a little bit of my blue and I've got a little bit of my turquoise. It's a rather dark turquoise, so I'm just mixing it up as I go. And then I want a little bit more white in the area, as I usually let my light come from the left hand side. So I'm just going to quickly cover everything that's bothering me, and then I will see what I'm going to do. Usually when I put a little bit of a color there, I always will put a little bit of that color there in that corner there. And then I'm just going to take, while I've got it, my brush is a little bit not clean, I'm just going to put in my foreground. Not worrying too much, picking up a little bit more blue on that side because that's my shadow area, and you can see I went in my yellow there, so I'm just going to use my finger and just smooth it out, sorry. And that's all I'm going to do for now. I'm thinking of putting pinkish flowers at the back. and a little bit of texture on my pot. You can use maybe let me just clean this brush first. Okay, while it's still a little bit wet, I'm just going to take my dark blue and I'm going to take a little bit of my green into that, and I'm just going to make me some stems. I'm not sure what I'm going to do there. Let me just get a little bit more blue. So you could just use your brush on the side and just flick out your brush like that. I like to create a dark area where my flowers are going to be, because you've got that atmospheric shadows at the back or in between your flowers. So for now, let me just see what I've got on my palette. I will need to take out a little bit of paint. I'm going to use my, blue and turquoise and white, my yellow and my white, and and this is the same color, and then I'm going to make just pinkish flowers, and I'm going to bring in a little bit of texture here with the same pink and maybe a little bit of orange or yellow, I'm not sure. So I'm just going to take a bright pink, and I'm just going to start and make myself, I don't want to do realistic stuff now, as you are learning still. This is a beginner's one, so I just want to show you how easy you can make yourself something pretty. I'm just dabbing my brush like in almost a circle and leaving some of the places open, you know what I mean, for the background to come through. I think that's maybe enough, and then I like to overlap some of my area, so I'll make maybe 2 or 3 with one another, so that it can be like 2 flowers in front of one another. You must always overlap your stuff. While I'm at it, I'm just going to put in a little bit of, just get a little bit of my green. I'm going to put in a little bit of leaves, and I'm just going to pick up a little bit on my brush, and I'm just going to almost like put it in a circle effect. I'm not going to make a perfect leaf. And then while I'm at it, I'm going to pick up a little bit of my yellow with my green. And I'm just going to, remember this is my side where the highlights come from, so I'm just going to highlight some of the areas. I think that's almost enough, if it's not too much already. Remember, if you work with acrylics, just wash your brushes in between. Like this one I will wash later, but you can just clean it a little bit and let it lie there with your water on top of it, and then you can just clean it up before it dries. I just want to see what's going on here. It's still a little bit wet, so maybe I must just quickly go and, okay, this area needs a little bit of a clean up, so I'm just going to take my blue that I used on this side, and I'm just going to clean up this area, and I'm just going to work that into the background a little bit. And maybe on this side as well. Remember, acrylic dries darker as they get dry. So I'm going to take a little bit of my white. I want to start highlighting that area there. I'm taking the same pink that I used on my flowers, and I'm just going to put a little bit of white, and I'm just going to maybe make 2 or 3 marks. Let me just take a little bit more of my pink. It's too light too quickly. You can maybe, like in 2 times, put your, put a little bit of white in, and then again a little bit of white, and then again, so that you almost have about 2 or 3 or 4 different shades of your color. I don't want to go into that area too much because that's my shadow part, so I can maybe just put in a little bit of my pink again there. I'm just highlighting, if you can see that, I hope you can see that. I'm just highlighting that part and leaving that dark. So I'm going to put a little bit of my dark in there. I like to put thick, so I like a lot of texture, and as this is a dark background, I'm going to show you up close. I hope you can see the texture that I put in there. I've got it on my palette, so I can just use it up. I hope you can see the texture on that. Now I'm just going to take a little bit more white, and I'm just going to highlight, not all of them. If you've got 2 with one another, you can just highlight the one a little bit, because you don't want to you want the one at the back to go into the shadow more. And I think that's enough. I don't think I want to do too much further. Just going to put a little bit of that in between small patches, because I want to fill it up a little bit more. And you can even take a little bit of your dark, just maybe loosen it up a little bit more. So that was too much. Okay, this is fairly dry now. I want to do a little bit of marks on the pot there. You can use your little round brush. I will show you now. And I just want to use my rotring sticky, and I just want to quickly bring a little bit of my lines. I like to cross there, where my background and my foreground is, and maybe a little bit there and at the back. You can even use your paints for this, just with your little round brush, but as it takes up a little bit of time, I just want to quickly do this. You can see I haven't got really a lot of stems in there, so if you like, you can put in some stems. I'm not going to even bother. I want my eye to tell me that there's leaves and flowers, and you will see the stems if you look from a little bit from far. Your eye will put a stem in there for you, so I don't want to overcomplicate this thing. Then I'm just going to put a little bit of my in there, and I can maybe just write my name. I think I'm finished, and then I'm just going to put in a little bit of my yellow and orange. I'm going to put in yellow on this on this side, and orange on that side for the little heart of the flower. And then I'm just going to quickly put in something here. So I haven't got orange in my craft paint. That can work for me for now. So I'm just going to take a little bit of my orange, and I'm just going to put just my point of my brush in the water, just to make it a little bit more flowable. And then I'm just gonna put in a stem or a thing there, and on the sides I'm going to put in something like a leaf, or I will see when, I'm just gonna make it like a stem with leaves. Let's do that. I want to put some pink and stuff with the orange. That's why I'm not covering the whole, all of them with my pink. With my orange. So now I'm going to take a little bit of, let me just get a little bit, it went dry now, so I need to take out a little bit. So I've got the same pink that my flowers are, and I'm just going to put a little bit of pink in there. I'm not going to worry too much. I'm just going to make it in the shape of the one maybe like a leaf. And then I'm going to take a little bit of my white, and I'm just going to give certain areas a little bit of a highlight. And I'm going to bring a little bit of that blue of mine as well into the mix here, because I've got it on my palette, and it can actually look nice. Let me just think what I'm going to do next. Maybe put another little leaf there, maybe one there, and then I want to bring a little bit a little bit more of my orange as well. And I think that's all I'm going to do. I don't think I'm going to worry too much now. I don't know what I did there. Let me just quickly check and put a little bit of maybe my orange or something there, as it's near the pink. Okay, what I'm going to do now, you can take your, maybe I must do that. You can take a little bit of your Paynes Grey now with a little bit of water, and you can just maybe make some lines here and there around these areas. Not all of them. If you want to put around all of them, you can do that. And maybe a little bit more around the pot. And I think that's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to put my little hearts in there. And I'm just going to use the orange that I've got at the moment. And just put in a little bit of my orange here and there. I think I must just take a little bit of my white with my orange. You don't need to do all of them, just here and there. And then maybe a little bit of my yellow, and just put some of my yellow in. And I think that's enough. Just want to put a little bit of my yellow with that orange ones there. I don't think I'm going to do anything further than that. Just maybe put a little bit of more stems into there, and then I think I'm finished. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, I would love to see you next time. Remember, I used my craft paints. I only used these two for the pinks because I didn't have that, And I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, I will definitely see you next time. Let me just get my brush, and let me just quickly do there something as well. I just want to highlight a little bit more on this side. Just make a little bit more of a shadow part there for that one. And then I think I'm finished. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, I will definitely see you next time, and take care.